Okay, REI is 6.5 miles away, 11 minutes on the 25, which is Pan American Highway. I actually had a thought. I was like, man, I would love to convoy down to like Central America. Like I'm getting the travel bug right now. I'm getting the itch, you know. Like I want to just go somewhere that isn't just sitting around. But no, I've got a lot of stuff to work on, a lot of stuff with the family that needs to be taken care of. So can't really do much more this year than just kind of be in Albuquerque, I think, and then just go home every other week as I have to, which is fine. I don't think it snows in Albuquerque. People who live here don't seem like they're like snow people. You know, we're in the basin. It does snow on the mountain. Not very much anymore, and it does snow in Santa Fe, and it definitely snows in Taos. But I don't think it snows very much here. But I would like to get up to Santa Fe and Taos, and I can ride the hardtail, no problem, on the Rift Valley Trail. I don't really need to have a full suspension bike for that. I can ride the La Tierra trails on a hardtail, though it's better on a full suspension because then I can do all the technical stuff, like all the kind of little jump lines and all that. But I don't think I'll get to La Tierra this year because that's a little bit too rocky and rickety. But Rift Valley might be okay because they have a flow line. Scam like me again? She's calling me. They have a flow line and stuff, and it's pretty good. I don't know. I think I'll just stick here. I wouldn't mind doing the Bosque Trail, like just trying to get my strength up because I don't even know if I can brake on my bike. Like I don't know what the grip is on my hand or how much having my hand rested on the handlebars is going to be painful or not painful. When I do the stair climber, like I did an hour on the stair climber today, and I go pretty fast. I go on like level 12 to 14. So I'm pretty much walking at a normal pace as if I'm hiking really fast. So I did that for an hour, and I rest my hands on the I kind of hold real high on the handlebars, and it didn't hurt, and I could feel it kind of like as I'm stepping, it's boom, 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 like pulling. So that was fine. I didn't feel bad doing that. Like I wasn't in pain. But when I wake up in the morning, because I'm not wearing the brace at night anymore, I have so much, like I can feel the pin, the coldness of the pin, I guess, even though it's in the middle of my bone. It's just so weird. I can't believe I did this summer. I wouldn't have broken anything if I was at Angel Fire. I should have just come to Angel Fire this summer. But I wanted to see Montana, and I thought Montana would be good for the nonprofit, and I was already in Salt Lake City, and I just didn't want to be anywhere too hot because I would have had to fly in and out of Albuquerque, which was fine. On Spirit, the flights were free, and but now they don't fly out of Albuquerque anymore. So it's easier to drive anyway because I can bring more stuff out, take more stuff back. So that way I'm not having to buy everything again here. I can just go home and just grab everything I need. So and take things back and forth, which is helpful. But yeah, so I'm going to be home, and it's going to be an interesting weekend. Things are not going too well with the other half right now because of the other half, and I really wish that things were not so absolutely difficult. So I mean, it affects my daughter, so I'm going to just be the best mommy weekend that I can have until we figure out some more stuff. But in the meantime, you know, just working on everything else that I have to work on, throwing many balls in the air with one hand because his hand doesn't work. Yeah, so I feel fine getting rid of my bike. Once he took it off the back though, I looked at it and just my heart gushed. I was like, I really loved that bike. Although, you know, there were some issues originally, like it had the wrong cog, like where the pedals are, and the wrong like spoke thing, whatever that's called, cog, I don't know what it was, anyway, the crankshaft, whatever it is, but the thing that the pedals are attached to was actually the wrong part for that bike, and so that's why my gears were messed up, and I was bike packing in Durango, and that didn't work out. But that's the thing too, is I can do more bike packing trips now if I've only got the hardtail. I'll be more encouraged to do more bike packing or more long distance because I can bring food and water. I've got all the bags and everything. I just got to look for everything. So I think some of the bags are still in Houston, but I think I don't know. I got to take everything out. I got to get to a campsite at some point when it cools down, and basically just take everything out of the back, do a massive vacuum, clean inventory, see what I can sell on the marketplace, and get rid of some things. Yeah, because I've got all my what is it, like my life jackets and stuff, but now I don't even use my paddleboard. So I'm going to get the paddleboard off the roof next week, throw that away, because I don't even have the fins or anything. I mean, I don't have a pump. So I'll get rid of the paddleboard, kind of free up the space on the roof. And if I ever went to Alaska, or if I go to South America or any of that stuff, the roof rack I'll keep up there because I need to be able to put the extra gasoline tanks up there. So that'll be good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of having all these thoughts now that everyone's in Moab for some sort of Moab meetup event, another kind of schoolie-palooza kind of thing. Mark and his daughter are going down to South America. Other people are heading to the snowboarding and skiing areas for the winter, and I'm just kind of in the middle. So, but I'm always an enigma. I'm always kind of like, I show up when I can, and nobody really like misses me when I'm not, because they know that I'm busy doing other stuff. So there's no pressure of like, oh, you don't want to hang out. Well, just check in. Like, you know, it's usually like, where are you at now? I'm like, I'm still down here in Albuquerque, and I like Albuquerque. I mean, you know, it's not, you know, Seattle, which I love, but it's a very easy city for van life. It's very temperate in that it's never, I mean, obviously in the summertime it's hot, but it gets very cold at night, like down to the 50s, and I'll be down to the 40s, low 40s. It's a very easy city for van life. You can stay at the Cracker Barrel, you see the same people every night. Everything's within 10-15 minutes. You've got, except for an IKEA, which you don't have, which I don't need. I can do that in Houston, which is good. I can drive the car back with IKEA stuff. I don't need any IKEA stuff, but they have at home. They've got, you know, all these other big box stores. They've got a shopping mall. They've got big rigs that slam their brakes on. What are you doing, dude? You cannot slam your brake on. Okay. Weird. Yeah, and then it's close to the mountains, and it's only 45 minutes from Santa Fe. Or you can stay in the low desert, high desert. You can go hike like that hike I did the other day, which is absolutely beautiful. You can always get out of the heat. That's no problem. So it's a good city. It's a very easy city. Everyone's real chill. And there's Planet Fitnesses all over. So yeah, I mean, for me, I've come here every year that I've been doing van life. This is my like fifth year of traveling, like in the car in 2020, and then 4 years of van life. So yeah, I've been coming here at least a month every year, more than that sometimes. But now I've been here since, well, I think I've been here 5 weeks now. Yeah, 4 weeks. Been in 4 weeks already. Because because of 5 weeks. I got here, I was in Santa Fe, and I came down and I flew home one way, got the car, came back. I've driven the car back and forth one time, and now this is the second. This is my 5th week, so next week will be 6 weeks that I've been in this area. And I'm okay if I don't go up to the Enchanted Circle or Red River or Cimarron or any of those places. I've done those before. I'm just happy that I'm in a place that's not humid, that's easy for me to kind of get back and forth to Texas, and also be in the van. And you know, it was really nice to see my friend come in. I haven't seen him in a year. So yeah, he spent all of 5-6 months down in South America backpacking, and now he's going to drive down there in the rig. And you know, it's kind of sad. I actually like miss my friends. I'm like, I'm not going to see him or anyone else, you know, for quite a while. But to think like they're heading all the way to Argentina, him and his adult daughter who just graduated from college. I'm like, that's awesome and crazy at the same time. But yeah, I don't think my rig needs a lot of extra TLC and love and all that before I'm ever able to go on one of those epic road trips. I need a lot of stuff kind of upgraded and you know, fixed. I need the parking brake to be fixed if I'm going to be on ferries, because you have to set the parking brake. So there's little stuff like that. So I don't think it's going to be anytime soon that I'm going to be doing any international trips in the van. But yeah, I think for now I'm just going to chill out in Albuquerque for the winter, and then if I have to be back in Houston for a couple of days at a time or a week at a time, it's fine, because I have the car, and it's only like it's literally like a 1 day drive. I can do 13 hours in 1 day, but it's basically a 1.5 day drive to get back here or to go back to Houston. So it's fine, it's easy, and I can stop on the way, do a hike, or just kind of push through. So yeah, so tomorrow's going to be fun. I just hope that my tires aren't flat. That's my biggest fear, my toxic trait, is that while it's at the airport, the tires are flat. I have tracking in it, so I know that like it's still there. But yeah, I'm just gonna, tonight, I think I'll do laundry. It's 2 o'clock now. Yeah, 3 o'clock. I'll do laundry, I'll go to REI, drop the bike off, go back to the Montgomery. That's right, because I'm south now. So Montgomery Street is where the Splash and Dash, the little places. This guy's gonna hit my van. Move over a little bit. Whoops. Let's go over here. Sorry, I don't want to get hit by him, because he's go way too. Just want to get over. There we go. Okay, that's fine. I always fear that he's gonna like slam into my side of my van, like I see on TikTok. Anyway, so yes, I'll go to the little Soap and Suds. That's what it's called, Soap and Suds, and go do laundry and go drive. Drive would be good. I forgot how to drive my van just now. Yeah, I'll go to Soap and Suds and then be done. It only takes like an hour or so to do laundry, and then might as well get it done instead of taking it all the way back to Houston and coming all the way back with it. And then I'll just pack everything up ready to take it out early in the morning and just transfer it into the van. That'll be fine. So yeah, so that's my world. Goodbye bike. I'm okay. I've offloaded so much of my belongings in the last year, like selling everything I own and all of Harriet's old clothes and toys and furniture and all this stuff that, you know, I was kind of had sentimental value because I used it every day and it was in my home and I looked at it and everything, but I don't miss it. And I think I'll miss my bike because pretty much my wrist will probably heal next week and I'll be like, well shit. The good thing is that if I can always go take the bike back at any time. So I didn't give the bike to the store, like the shop. They're basically storing it for me for free. And if it sells, then I get $1,700, I get $1,200 of that. If it doesn't sell, then I get to take the bike back. And so it's nice because I'm not completely bound by losing the bike. I can always just leave it there for months until they sell it. And he said it's a good bike. It'll probably sell pretty quickly. They'll put it on Facebook for me. And this is the good thing too about consignment. I'll gladly pay them $500 of that money because I don't have to deal with Craigslist and meeting up with people and wasting gas driving around town, meeting up with people and dealing with creepers and murderers and all that stuff. They can deal with those people and they'll put it on Craigslist, they'll put it on Facebook, and hopefully it'll sell. Hopefully somebody will buy it and I'm happy to let it go. Absolutely happy to let it go. So anyway, let me see if I can finagle my way here. I've not been to this REI. They kind of screwed up my bike with the bike packing. And I thought at first they did, but I think they did mess up the gears because the crankshaft was the wrong piece. So they were working with trying to fix what was already not supposed to be there, and they just made it worse. So I don't know if I really want to go in here. No. Anyway, so let me go over here and park and take the bike off. Yeah, it's getting dark early now, before 7. So I get strong sun, but I don't get a lot of sun hours, unfortunately. But let me go over here. All right, over we go. And I'm glad that I have my van registered in Texas because they have emissions here in New Mexico. So I see all these emissions testing. I'm like, I don't even think we need a state inspection anymore in Texas. I think we just pay the registration fee every year, which is like $70, which you also can like write off on your taxes. You didn't know that. So, okay, let me go over here, take this off and drop it off at the store. Well, that's weird. The locks are not undoing. Okay, so I guess I won't do REI today. I guess I'll just leave it on the back. That's fine. Okay, let me go reinforce it with the other locks and then get out of here. Maybe I'll go in REI for half a minute. I don't know. Go use the restroom or something.